Musical practice workshop. Musical practice workshop. In my last video, I mentioned that I was going to reharmonize over each note of the melody line that I just played on the keyboard, and that's what we're gonna do. At least that's what we're going to start to do, because we're not going to do all of them just one time. We're going to divide it into sequences of reharmonizations. So today we're going to harmonize only on 3 notes in the first measure: the C, the D, and the E. And you can take a look at those 3 notes in the first measure. Okay, there you go. There's 3 notes in the first measure: C, D, and E. Look at them very closely, because those are the 3 notes we're going to concentrate on today for reharmonization. Okay. Now, let's take a look at those 3 notes, because when we have a melody in front of us to harmonize or reharmonize, we need to know the characteristics of the notes in the melody, in the melody. So we got a C here, we got a C, we got a D, and we got E, and we are in the key of C major, C Ionian mode. So the C is the root of this C major scale. So that is a chord tone, because that's part of the C is part of the C major triad, or C minor triad, and so on. So it is a chord tone. C is a chord tone in the E major triad. E is also a chord tone. Okay, so we're going to harmonize 2 chord tones. What about the D? The D in the middle of C and E is not a chord tone. It is an approach. It is an approach tone, approach note. That's what it is. And you know, an approach note can have different connotations. An approach note can be a passing tone. It can be a scale tone. It can be a chromatic tone. Okay, so in this case, we can see that D in this case is an approach tone. Is a passing approach tone. because what a passing approach tone does it connects two notes of different pitch by stepwise motion, not leap motion, stepwise motion. So we know we know D right here is a passing tone because it connects C and E, which are two chord tones. Okay, so D is a passing tone. So what we are in those exercises, our goal, our objective is to reharmonize the approach tones, the approach notes. That's the purpose of these exercises that I'm doing, because it's easy to harmonize the chord tones, okay, because they are part of the diatonic system. They are diatonic to the key you're using. Also, so the scale tones, are also diatonic to the key. They're just passing notes. So in my exercise, in the melody line that I showed you at the beginning of the video, you can see that if you see a number, just a number is a chord tone. If it's a scale tone, you're gonna see S and the number S. If it's a 2, just like D, number 2. So it's a scale. It is an S2. Okay, and then of course C is 1. It's a chord tone 1. 2 is a D, S2, scale tone 2, and then E is the third of in the key of C major. That's a chord tone, so it's just a number 3. Okay, 1, S2, 3. A scale note is a note that leads into a chord tone, okay, in the diatonic system by stepwise motion. Okay, so D here is going to resolve on E. It's going to lead to E in stepwise motion. So our job now is to know how we're going to harmonize the approach passing tone D. Okay, but that's our main goal. But we're going to try to harmonize on the other notes as well. So let's see the C. Now, what we need to, because now we're talking about harmonization, reharmonization. Now, with the melody alone, there was only one staff. Now, since I'm going to harmonize, I have a second staff, because in the top staff, I'm going to play some notes, and then in the bottom staff, I'm going to play other notes. So you can call those two a grand staff. So now let's go with the C first. C. How are we going to harmonize the C? Okay, now when you are harmonizing on a melody note, the melody note is going to be on top of the arrangement. Okay, it's going to be You got everything else, all the other notes is gonna be under, below the melody note, because they are their job is to support the melody note. So we're gonna start with C. That's the melody note. So we need to harmonize underneath it. Okay? So we know C is a C. We can think about C, the C major triad. Okay? So I need G. Okay, I'm gonna play G in the second staff, and I need E as well. So I'm gonna play E in the second staff as well with my left hand. Now I can harmonize with a 6, so I can play C major 6, right? So it's gonna be a whole step above G. So I got E, I got G, and then with my right hand I'm gonna play A to make it 6, and the root, which is the melody note, is on top of the arrangement. So it's gonna be, okay, it's gonna be like this. That's the melody note. This is the chord. C major 6, and this is the melody note C. But of course, you can harmonize any way you want. If any way you can choose among different tensions to harmonize this chord, to harmonize on the C note. You can why not C major 9? See, I'm still playing the melody on top. C. What about C major 6 9? Actually, that's what I was playing. Okay, C major 6 9. That's what I was playing. This is a 9. This is 6. But I can play, yeah. Okay, now there are at least 3 ways that you can harmonize or reharmonize the approach tones, those notes that are not chord tones. At least 3 ways that I know of. You can harmonize. You can have dominant reharmonization. You can have parallel reharmonization, and also you can have diatonic reharmonization. In this case, I look at what I have. I got E, I got D, and D in this case, which is my next melody note that I'm going to harmonize in order to resolve to E, which is a chord tone in the a chord tone of the C major triad. So I said to myself, well, okay, then I am going to resolve on the same C major 6 from the D. So for me, the strongest resolution to the C, to the 1 chord, is a dominant chord. So for me, the best thing for me to do right now is to create it, is to harmonize D, which is the passing tone here, harmonize it as a dominant chord, as part of a dominant chord, a dominant 7th, or maybe, or even an altered dominant. So, but for me to do so, this D must be a chord tone of the dominant 7th chord I intend to use. You see, yeah, did you hear what I said? For me to harmonize on the D right here, for me, in order to resolve on the 1, okay? In order for me to harmonize with the dominant chord, this note must be a chord tone that belongs to the dominant chord that I'm going to create. So D, okay, then I can tell you that D is the 5th note, the 5th degree, okay, in the key of G major. So I can create a G dominant 7th chord, or G dominant 7 flat 9 chord, for me to resolve strongly on the 1 chord C major 6, because I'm going to resolve on the E. But E is the 3rd in the major, in the C major triad. So what I do, I play the D. Remember, the D is the melody note. It must be on top of the arrangement. That's the lead voice. Okay, all the notes I'm gonna play, they're gonna be played below it. You know, maybe 1 or 2 in the first, in the top staff, and the other ones in the bottom staff. So let me start with D. That's on the top staff. Okay. Okay. Then I can play B as well, because B is the 3rd in the key of G, in the 3rd in the G major, in the G dominant 7. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, now I got D and I got the 3rd on the top staff. Now what I'm going to do, I need okay, now what I'm going to do here, I am going to play because that's G, right? I'm going to play a flat 9. I'm going to play G dominant 7 flat 9. B, this is a flat 9, and this is flat 7 F. Okay, so it's going to be, so there you go. So I'm going to play the flat 7 and the flat 9 in the bottom staff, and I'm gonna play the third B and the melody note D on the top staff. You hear? This is it. Now I can go ahead and play the. I can go ahead and play the melody note anywhere I want, which is D. Over this chord. Okay, so the way you see how you see how I reharmonize over the S2 in order to resolve on the one. I ended up playing G dominant 7 flat 9 because D is a chord tone of the G dominant 7. It's a chord tone, or it could be an extension as well, but not an approach tone. So there you go. Now, guess what? I'm going to resolve on this C6 again. Okay, different voicing is going to be right here. Okay, it's going to be right over here. Okay, let's see. I want to make sure I do it right. You see? Now, I end up playing C6 again in my left hand, bottom staff. I play the G, the 5th, the A6 in my right hand, top staff. I play C and D, C and E. Okay, so it's got to be something like, let's see again. Start with C6. The lower voicing. Okay. Okay. There you go again. Let's try that again. C6, C major 6. Flat 9 and then back to C6. So I reharmonize, you know, 3 notes, 3 melody notes. The C, chord tone, the D, passing tone, approach tone, and the E, which is also a chord tone. Okay, that's note 1, S2, and note 3. Okay. If I could, let me see if I can add some rhythm, just for the fun of it. Let's see. Let me try something. I don't know. That's it. That was reharmonization on the melody notes C chord tone 1, 2 scale tone 2, and E chord tone 3 in the key of C major. Next time we will continue from where we are stopping now.